In the broad context of social circles, whether talkative or reticent, different identities, backgrounds, and personalities of newlyweds result in distinctly different wedding styles. For instance, Nordic royal weddings typically feature formal attire, luxurious and elegant. In contrast, nobility or members of deposed royal families tend to prefer a rustic countryside or seaside romantic style, which is quite popular among them. However, today we are going to explore a perplexing phenomenon. Despite having ample financial resources, some newlyweds choose a terrible wedding style. This choice is neither due to aesthetic differences nor a pursuit of simplicity, but rather a decision that ordinary people find hard to understand. In short, even if the couple has substantial economic strength, people can't help but ask, why would they make such a decision? First, let's take a look at the recent wedding of the Duke of Westminster, Hugh Grosvenor. This wedding, which cost billions, adopted an overall rustic and simple style. Despite the groom's family's immense wealth, they did not favor extravagance. It is reported that even wedding photos of the groom's elder and younger sisters are rarely seen. The bride, Olivia, is tall and slender, and her wedding dress and veil both reflected considerable taste and expense. Although her blue velvet shoes were somewhat unique, they were generally appropriate. However, what puzzled people the most was her makeup and hairstyle, which appeared somewhat plain and made her look older. Generally speaking, if an ordinary person were to get married with such a wedding styling, it would likely cause quite a stir. After all, a makeup trial is indispensable. Such choices are truly baffling. In the end, the photographer played a crucial role in overcoming shortcomings and highlighting strengths, and even a layperson like myself can appreciate their professional caliber. Next, let's take a look at Zara Phillips' wedding. As mentioned several times before, in my view, Zara is one of the most outstanding grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth in terms of looks. She successfully avoided facial flaws such as bulging eyes and prominent cheekbones. Although her lower face occasionally appeared a bit awkward in her smile, overall, her features are well proportioned. As an equestrian athlete, Zara inevitably has a rugged and sturdy appearance, but theoretically, with the help of experienced stylists, these issues can be addressed. However, surprisingly, her attire at the wedding appeared somewhat chaotic. At first glance, the overall impression of the wedding was not tidy. Her wedding dress seemed ill-fitting, and Zara appeared as if she were ready to go hunting in the mountains at any moment. The veil on her head was also loosely draped like a mosquito net. Fortunately, the photographer salvaged the situation in post-processing. They released a couple of photos where Zara appeared more polished after removing her veil, with lighting and her expression particularly well coordinated. Next, let's take a look at the wedding styling of Princess Alexandra of Luxembourg. Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg's fortune is estimated by Forbes to be between $3 to $4 billion. His only daughter, Alexandra, was raised by Henri and his wife Maria Theresa, who has close ties to several high-fashion brands. Over the years, she has acquired several couture pieces from Elie Saab and Giorgio Armani. Although Alexandra opted for a custom gown by Elie Saab, the design and color choices did not achieve the desired effect. The dress's design featured excessive embellishments, creating a visually cluttered appearance, and the waistline treatment appeared overly pronounced. Furthermore, the bride's styling was lackluster in terms of jewelry and hairstyle, though not outright poor. It was once again the skill of the photographer that saved the scene. They effectively enhanced the overall quality of the images through clever foreground blur techniques. Nevertheless, in my opinion, there are still aspects of the staged background choices that are questionable. Lastly, there is Laura, the eldest daughter of Princess Astrid of Belgium and Archduke Lorenz of Austria-Est, who holds the title of Belgian princess due to gender-neutral succession laws. While her Belgian identity may not be crucial, it is noteworthy that the bride's family is extremely affluent, having previously expressed significant importance in their first daughter's marriage. Though not as extravagant as the Duke of Westminster or Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg, Laura's wedding budget should theoretically be unrestricted. However, her wedding gown was off the rack from Vivienne Westwood's line, altered with different colors and fabrics. The train of the gown looked disjointed, as if two pieces were awkwardly attached, and even the ties were not neatly folded. The back view was also inadequate. The makeup was also out of place. Apart from lipstick, there was barely any trace of makeup visible. Some cutting remarks even likened her to a divorced woman in her 40s or 50s. Although she wore her grandmother's tiara and veil, with exquisite earrings, neither the makeup nor the hairstyle, nor the wedding gown itself, could salvage the overall effect. To make matters worse, the photographer failed to redeem the situation, and the situation worsened further. After witnessing numerous ceremonial weddings and public events, the crude saying overhyped and underdelivered holds some truth. The intricacies of royal circles are hard to fathom. Sometimes, the greater the anticipation, the greater the disappointment. Conversely, those events with lower expectations often surprise pleasantly.